How do planets differ? Astronomy is the science that deals with the study of stars, planets, and other physical objects beyond Earth. The earliest astronomers observed the sky with their unaided eyes and minds. They formulated different theories that were the basis for the study of astronomy today. Some theories were developed by the early astronomers about the solar system. The Earth as the center model. Claudius Ptolemy, a Greek astronomer, formulated the Ptolemaic theory, which stated that the Earth was the center of the universe. He proposed that the planet, the Sun, and the Moon move in a perfect circles around the Earth. He imagined the planets to go occasionally in small circles and then return to their orbits. This explained the retrograde motion of some planets. The Sun as the center model. In 500 AD, Philolaus, a Greek philosopher, stated that Earth was moving around the central fire in a west to east direction. Much later, a Greek astronomer, Aristarchus, thought that Earth rotates and moves in an orbit around the Sun like other planets. But this theory was not accepted by the learned men of the time because no one could prove it. Another theory that the Sun as the center model came from Nicolaus Copernicus, a Polish astronomer in 1543 published a theory that the Sun is the center of the universe and the planets orbit the Sun, and this was known as the Copernicus model. He proposed that the planets, including Earth, revolve around the Sun and that the closest to the Sun is Mercury, followed by Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn. The other planets were not yet known during that time. This theory was universally accepted after hundreds of years. Modern astronomers, Tycho Brahe, a Danish astronomer, and his assistant, Johannes Kepler, a German astronomer, contributed much to improve the sun-centered model of the solar system. Through their mathematical computations, observations, and records of the positions of the stars, moon, and planets, they discovered that all planets revolves around the Sun in elliptical orbits, not circles, and that the Sun is not in the exact center of the orbits. The study of the solar system was improved through the invention of the telescope. The invention of the telescope led to greater precision in the study of bodies in space. Galileo Galilei was the first astronomer to use the telescope to observe celestial bodies. More discoveries were made with the inventions of more sophisticated telescopes. Theory on the formation of the solar system. The most widely accepted theory on the region of the solar system is the nebular hypothesis. The nebular hypothesis states that the solar system was formed from a huge nebula which contracted, rotated, and condensed into hot lumps of matter to form the Sun, the planets, and the minor members. The members of the solar system. The solar system is the Sun and all the space objects traveling around it. If you look at the sky on a clean night, you can see many twinkling lights. With the unaided eye, planets and stars are look-alike. A planet is a space object that moves around the Sun. Planet, according to ancient people, means wanderer, since they are moving objects. Planets travel around the Sun in paths called orbit. The pull of the Sun's gravity affects the direction of the motion of a planet. Thus, a planet's orbit is a football-shaped pathway called an ellipse. The planets. In the ancient times, people knew only 5 planets. These were Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn. Earth was not considered a planet at the time. Later, scientists discovered 9 planets, including Earth. However, recently, the number of planets was reduced to 8 with the latest discovery that Pluto is not a planet. Instead, it is a dwarf planet. A dwarf planet has a smaller size and does not have its own orbit around the Sun. Classification of planets. The planets of the solar system can be classified in different ways. It may be according to the following. By size. Small planets have diameters less than 13,000 kilometers. The small planets are Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars. Giant planets have diameters greater than 48,000 kilometers. The giant planets, also referred to as the gas planets, are Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. By composition or what they are made of. Terrestrial or rocky planets are the ones made up mostly of rocks and metal. They have relatively high densities, slow rotation, solid surfaces, no rings, and have few satellites. These planets are Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars. Jovian or gas planets are made up mostly of hydrogen and helium. These usually have low densities, rapid rotation, deep atmospheres, rings, and several satellites. These planets are Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. By their distance from the Sun. The inner planets are Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars. The outer planets are Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. By history. Date when they were discovered. Classical planets have been known since prehistorical times. They can all be seen from Earth with the unaided eye. This group includes Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn. Modern planets have been discovered since the invention of telescopes because they are only visible through telescope.